my lovely gamers. This video is about Team Go Rocket. Now I'm sure you probably already heard about all this and you probably already own some shadow Pokemon, but just in case you don't know, basically Team Rocket have been taking over Pokemon stops, and so on your maps you will find a Pokestop that's like glitching out, and when you go over to it you can see right here that you're going to be going up against a grunt, and they give you sort of a clue of what it might be in the beginning of the battle, as you just seen before. And so my first battle ever was Squirtle. So you also will be fighting against 3 shadow Pokemon, and there is a chance you can get one of those, but most likely it would be the first one that you battled. But second commonly would be the second one. And no one that who I've been out with ended up catching the third one, but I'm pretty sure there is like just a small chance you could get it. Also, I totally wasn't paying attention before and did not even realize that I wasn't even doing the special move. And also, as I was saying before, before you battle with the grunts, they give you a little clue if it's going to be sort of like more based on water, fire, or earth. Although sometimes they say something about, say, water, but then there'll only be one water Pokemon in there, and you're just like, oh, okay, this is a bat, not a water Pokemon. But yeah. Also, the battles can be quite hard if you either don't have the right Pokemon to go up against it, or you don't have very strong Pokemon. A lot of the time I did just use 3 of my strongest Pokemon. Otherwise, I realized I should have been using the opposite sort of to the Pokemon to defeat it. So with this hero thing, when you get up to 10, you get an extra ball to have an extra chance of catching the Pokemon that you just fought. Seeing as this was my first shadow Pokemon that I was catching, I gave it a Golden Berry because you don't get many balls, you don't get very many chances, so I wanted to make sure it stayed in. So the shadow Pokemon are genuinely weaker, and you can actually purify them and they will become a lot stronger. I didn't purify my first catch, but I purified a couple of my other Pokemons that I got because it's also part of the new field research that you have to do. I forgot to kind of take some screenshots of the very first lot of the research, but I'm sure you've all got it. I'm sure you already know. Some of you probably already been there, done that, so yeah. I decided to evolve my first shadow Pokemon. But later on I think I ended up purifying it because you need to purify like 5 to get past one of the quests. And as I said earlier, they don't last very long, so once you have gone through and caught your Pokemon, it disappears, so you can only do it once. I have had a couple of glitches, but I was able to go back in, thankfully. But I think there was one glitch, I don't know if I got it on camera or not, but there was one glitch where I was meant to catch a Pokemon, and it was a Pokemon that we didn't even fight against, so then it ended up like disappearing, and yeah, totally didn't catch anything at all. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, it happened once out of the whole thing, so whatever. And yeah, just keep in mind that you definitely need to have some of your strongest Pokemon going up against them, because sometimes you can lose. They don't make it heaps easy. Like it is considering some sort of, but then it can also be a bit of a challenge, which is what we want really. We need to challenge ourselves every day. Also, something else to note is that you will be going through a lot of potions and revives, so you definitely want to make sure that you're stocked up on them before you think about going out and getting a couple of shadow Pokemon. So this was my Bulbasaur that I caught. I really like the shadow effect. It, like, I understand why they made it weaker and stuff, because, you know, it needs to be purified and stuff, and it was like, it's bad, but it looks cool. So I also decided to evolve Bulbasaur as well, because I'm like, I have the candies, I'm just gonna do it. And as I said before, the Pokestops just go back to normal, as you can see here. And then you can spin it again. Done. And this was me finishing off some of the research. And this is kind of what you can expect if you're not up to this bit. I mean, if you don't want to read any of that, I can relate. Sometimes I don't really read it, I just kind of skim over it a lot, so that's fine, that's fine. This is the next lot of the research that you have to do. I kind of wish that I had done the first lot earlier before I even started going up against the grunts, but it was fine because we did plenty of them to get the research done. And this one was Charmander. I really like the effect. Charmander is one of my favorite Pokemon, like the whole evolution. I really love Charizard, and it's like it's a very common favorite of everyone's, but there's a reason for that, because they're amazing. Except this was the glitch where it just glitched out. I had to reset the app, get back into it, but thankfully I was able to get back into it, and I did have to start again with the match, but as long as I could do it and I didn't lose the Pokemon, it was fine. It wasn't like the story I was saying before where I ended up getting nothing. This was just a simple glitch, and it was still up for me to do it again, so that's good. And that's probably most likely to happen from time to time, especially that I think this is pretty new, so I don't know how long they're going to bring it out. You know, if they're going to kind of be like, take it away, bring it back out every now and then. But yeah. I was really hoping for Charizard as well, but yeah, didn't get him at all. But it's okay because you got Charmander and Charmeleon. So yeah. And yeah, this was about the part where I was doing badly, and I don't know why they like clap at the end and say good effort, like the usual thing. It's like, no, that's Team Go Rocket and they're doing bad stuff. Don't clap because they bet you. What the hell? So this is really going back to the part where you need a lot of healing potions and revives. And I just kind of kept going for it, but then I think eventually I'm like, okay, this is obviously not working for whatever reason, and so I chose the better equipped Pokemon to go up against them. But you just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, because you'll get there eventually. Like it might seem hard if you're a lower level account, or you might get it straight away, like but definitely if you feel like you're losing a lot, don't give up, because you will get there eventually. If you're confused with what goes against what, just Google. Honestly, Google is your best friend. These shields are also your best friend. I've also noticed that when I'm battling, they don't really use their shields, so you get to do like all the super moves that you want, and they don't really use their shields, so yeah. I still managed to lose. Oh my god, stop clapping. Oh my gosh. And so this was just where I was healing and reviving, and tried again with some water Pokemon, and spoiler alert, I did better. I did better, yes, I did it. Also, if you are still watching this, thank you, because I feel like I don't know if many people would keep listening, watch the whole video. But yeah, if you're still around, hey, what's up? Thank you. I mean, if you've also just kind of skipped through, that's okay. And it's okay if you want to skip through some of these things that you're like, okay, I already talked about most of the things. I'm like ready to do it myself now. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna play some more battles, and if I think that I wanted to comment on anything else, I will just do so. Yeah. So there is one thing that can happen is it can feel sort of easy to be burnt out when you feel like you're moving around from place to place and just getting the same Pokemon. So it kind of makes you feel like a bit of burnout. Like, you want to keep going because you want to keep, you know, find all the shadow Pokemons, but there's like so many Rattars and Golbats, which is fine when you get them for the first one or the second one, maybe third one, but when you just keep getting them and you're like, come on, you know, let's get some more variety. Hopefully in the future they do you know, more variety of Pokemon, I guess. Like, it'd be hard to just sort of do every single one right now, or maybe they have got every single variety out, but they're just gonna slowly bring it out. So I started to purify some of the Pokemon as well, them to go along with the challenge that we had to do, so that I'll get an extra Pokeball for the next lot of shadow Pokemon that I would catch. So this next one was basically going to be water Pokemon. So I'm like, okay, water Pokemon. And then I started being really dyslexic. Even though I was thinking about electric to go against them, I just had water Pokemon in my head. So what did I do? I chose water Pokemon to go up against water Pokemon. And once I realized, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. But it just did it anyway, and I'm like, well, let's see who has the best water Pokemon. Spew, spew, pew, 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 pew. Water fight. Okay, I'm sorry. So I ended up winning. I had the better water Pokemon. I was actually kind of surprised because I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, that was cool. And yeah. And it was actually the second Pokemon that I went up against that I got. Yeah. And so with this battle, I actually ended up getting the Dratini. So that was so cool. It looks so cool. It's so pretty, even with like evil smoke arising from it. It's purple too. Purple is harmless, excuse you. No, it was really cool. So once I won this battle, I got the 10 out of 10 and I got the extra Pokeball. Came right on time for this beautiful Pokemon, even though I kept hitting my Pokeballs away. What the hell? But I finally got it, so I was all good. Stay in there. Good job. And yeah, there was lots of bats. Lots of bats. Yeah, and I'm like, ooh, Charizard. Nope, it was a bat. But it's okay. It's okay. It's alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna get there one day. I'm okay. I'm okay. And so I also got the extra Pokeball for the Purify because I had 5 Pokemon that I purified. So yeah, even though I already had like lots of bats. But yeah, I like my little baddies too. It's okay, it's alright. Because when you purify a Pokemon, it ends up being stronger, I decided to purify one of my Charmanders as well. And I will eventually evolve it to Charizard. And I'll also evolve one of the ghost Pokemon to Charizard. So I have like a dark one and a purified light one. So yeah. And these are just some of the Pokemons that I got. And I also purified a couple of my bats. When a bit batty. Had plenty, so why not? Especially because it makes them stronger and it puts their CP up a lot and their damage. Like, look at that, look at that. So yeah, these are some of the shadow Pokemon that I caught and some of the purified ones that I purified. Let me know which ones you ended up getting. I'm actually really interested. Thank you so much if you stuck around until the very end. Either way, thanks for watching. Bye, lovelies.